Hello, and welcome back to the Lost Club. Today, Jane is on a trip after driving for, or should I say, riding for at least a good, 3, 4 hours? I can't remember what the fucking trip is. I don't care.
I think it's at least 2.
Well, at least 2. Fuck it. Riding for at least 2 uh, in a direction that is away from wherever the house is, because I know geography. It's been a peaceful ride. Luckily enough, she going in a picking a time when traffic will not be insane, especially, well, obviously being on a bike. Not that she's going to fall off it. But as she comes through the city and starts making her way towards where Maisie actually is, her own house, meeting her there, of course, there is that overwhelming sense of dread still lingers in the back of her mind. Maybe checking the corners as she comes around them, checking them twice. The building up of anxiety within her own chest as she does pull into the parking lot of where this conversion has happened. Turning off the bike and swinging the leg over to get off and leave it parked where it is. Yeah, she knows it's not going anywhere. She makes her way through and taking the elevator. Just that bit of nervous energy coming through with the constant rapping of her knuckles. The first few times that they crack, as they do, being tensed up on the bike, they lock up a little bit and telling herself that she's just easing him out. When we're really, she doesn't really know what to expect on this. She's on her own this time. But even still,
She is, and it's the same simple process, albeit Maisie isn't there this time to just open the door. You hit her, key her number in, and almost immediately it's the cheery voice, confirming who you are and buzzing you in. The elevator doesn't require a key card or anything. It's just if you don't live here and have a key, resident needs to buzz you in to get you into the lobby. From there, it's free game. You get to spend that rise of what we'll say like 2 floors. It's not that tall a building, not with those ridiculous ceilings. So get to spend that elevator ride doing the pat game on your legs or whatever Jane does with nervous energy. But soon enough, the doors whoosh open. Too long, too short a time, maybe both. And you will end up in front of her door.
yeah, she takes a few steps, stops in front of it, and there is a brief few seconds where she's just staring at the door. It's the delayed thought, what's going through her head, but she eventually just sucks in the breath and knocks on it.
Yeah, seeing as she buzzed you in no time at all, you hear, in practically no time at all, you're the pad of feet across the floor, and sure enough, there's some fiddling with the knob, and finally the door opens. And there she is in all of her turquoise hair glory. Wow, turquoise haired glory. Drawing the door open. The big old smile on her face as she steps aside. Hey, Jane. Right.
It's just the kind of like rubs the back of her hair, the awkward smile, like yeah, it's me. She takes a few steps in.
Yeah. Come on in. Feel free to settle wherever. You hungry? It's a long drive.
I could eat.
All right. Yeah. Closes the door behind, and it's funny because the Jane thing, you could tell she had to catch herself. Right name. She can behave. She can learn to police this, and Yeah, all the same. The door flicks shut. And she, pitter pats into the kitchen, glancing behind. You want a beer?
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit of that nervous energy, that little bit of awkwardness to the grin is like, yeah. And goes ahead, pops open the fridge, snags out a pair of beers. Again, she is so weird. It's this big, expensive, nice place, but she still keeps like cheap canned beer. Not like the worst of the worst, but she's not splurging on her beer or keeping like fucking IPAs, fucking small brew blit. No, no.
Oh,
She just,
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
yep, pretty much.
Coors Light.
Pretty much. It is not the best of the best, but it's at least not the shittiest tasting of the worst. But she snags out, slides one over, pops the other
Yeah.
herself.
Jane will quite happily take beer because, haha, yes, I've been at least 2 hours without this.
My old friend.
That's the bottle of JD. No, she doesn't. What she makes herself comfortable. So it's the all right. I'm gonna do exactly what you told me because that's what people do, right? Visiting friends. Yeah. She takes off the jacket, drops it in, and so because Jane is on her own, she those the kind of chest holsters that you get that like link over your arms and that hold the pistol like on the side of your ribs.
Yep.
Yeah, no, she's got one of them on. Takes out the pistol, puts it down on the table, takes the holster off. She does sit down on the couch.
Okay. Yeah. Maisie's turned about to like pop open the freezer, pulls out like, admittedly, at least when it comes to like buying freezer pizza, she gets something decent. So that's not the worst of the worst, but yeah, she's like pulling out a pizza just for ease. Probably already has the oven set. And is, tugging open the box and everything, kind of glances back. Supreme Pizza, okay? And, sees you like in the midst of taking off the holster. It's just like, oh. Like that, just awkward, like not terrified, not offended, just kind of, oh, that's happening.
Yeah, she just looks around. Just kind of catches the look. Looks down over yeah. That's fine.
All right. Yeah, there's still a little head shake of like, well, all right. Again, she is not unaffected. She's just like, wow, I'm gonna put this pizza in the oven. Fuck. Just yeah, pulls open the box, pulls the sleeve off of the pizza, thinks about it, snags another one out. Manages to like jigsaw two of them in there, like, yep, this is necessary. This is happening. And once she has carefully jigsawed both in without somehow burning her fingers, because oven mitts are for losers, she'll finally close the oven, snag the beer, come around, and glancing over to the table, just as she's heading over to take the other side of the couch, it's just like, so, life that crazy over there?
Oh, that? She just kind of points. Well,
Yep.
to be honest, I prefer my shotgun, but I can't really carry that around.
Wow. Yeah, there's just kind of the shrug of like, I'm not even mad.
Well, I like to make a statement.
In my
But-
defense, you were hiding your statement under your jacket initially.
Well, being out on my own, I don't want to be caught off guard by anything?
Because you've been caught off guard before, or just precautionary? Yeah, she plunks down, looking over, just kind of trying to suss it out. She doesn't look like super conniving or suspicious, just like getting a read.
She does. She just takes a big gulp of the beer. Technically both.
Okay. I mean, I can't say much. I thought about getting one back when I was mostly doing deliveries, so kind of shrugs. But I don't think I actually have the nerve to shoot anyone, so not much point in carrying it, really.
You could always hit them with it.
Well, yeah, but at that point, you might as well carry one of those, like she does like the gesture with the hands where she pulls them apart together, the telescoping wands, or I don't know, at that point, you might as well have a taser or pepper spray.
Well, do you carry any of that?
I've got some pepper spray. Eh?
She just kind of there's a half grin.
It's like the most ridiculous teeny tiny can, but fits in all my purses, so
Well,
shrugs.
if you want a taser, I'm sure I could get a hold of one.
I mean, at this point, honestly, I'm not as worried about it as I was when I first came up. You hear you're gonna be delivering to stuff like that, and you worry that surely there's gonna be like a bunch of thugs or something, and it's gonna go tits up. But nothing like that's ever happened. So I don't even usually carry the mace anymore.
And Jane just nods, like, yes, good. I like this. Nothing's happened to you. Good.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's the display of the hands. Like, I got it because I was paranoid, but now I'm not, so I just kind of lives on my side table now. Not sure how much good it's going to do me there, but
if it works for you, that's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm probably more likely to have to spray someone at Walmart than at work, so just kind of the shrug of like, fucking people.
I just like to have things just in case.
No, that's all you. Not the only person I know who has a gun. Admittedly, most of them are way more subtle about it, but again, the hands kind of display like.
I thought I was being pretty subtle.
Yeah, right up until it was like on the table. Before that, totally subtle.
Yeah, she just, reaches forward, grabs it, puts it underneath the coat.
She snickers, kind of waves a hand like, you don't have to do that. It's okay.
Well, I've done it now. It's too late. No, that's it. I said it could have been worse. I could have had the shotgun.
It's true. You could have had the shotgun, and that would have been way more concerning.
Look, it's just mainly for intimidation. A lot of people just back out, especially. Just kind of waves a hand like, I'm totally not lying.
Well, I have secured the night off, so you have me to yourself. We can still go to the club if you want to, but I figured at least this way you didn't come all the way out here and then end up spending part of the night, either stuck there watching me dance or by yourself.
That's not a problem. I'll probably head down there later on. I thought may as well speak to, well, everybody.
Yeah.
Just say hi.
I mean, they'll be happy to hear from you, so.
Why not?
Yeah? Anything you want to do in the meantime?
Well, I'm in no rush. So how have you been, huh?
Pretty much same old, except that I've been kind of biting my nails all over again over what you guys are up to and if you're okay and all that again. But
Oh,
otherwise, working, shopping, being a hermit, sleeping in the middle of the day like a weirdo.
biting your nails at what we get up to?
No, I mean it's not as bad this time as when you disappeared, but don't worry about you. So a little bit of nail biting. Not very literal nail biting because that would be terrible on my nail polish and I would have to redo it every night before working.
In my defense, I still don't believe it was my fault. But
You know, I believe you. I don't. Is there any chance has any of it come back, Ellie? Like, just recognize the music at the club, smells, anything? Ring a bell?
There's been a few things. Not clear things, but went to go visit my old place, apparently. A few weird moments around there.
What, down in Raleigh?
Yeah, she just nods.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's like, oh. How did that go?
Probably about as well as you can imagine.
Yeah, there's kind of a concerned look over. Just kind of both handsing the beer can. To your mom?
Just shakes her head.
Figures.
No, just the place. A few moments of just like, I don't know, it's weird. Like I should recognize the place, but I don't. Feelings and feeling sick in certain places for reasons that I don't know why.
Like just really powerful deja vu.
Yeah.
A little like sympathetic nose wrinkle. I mean, have you ever had the like deja vu before? Could be a good sign.
Well, I don't think so. Everything that I've At the start, yeah, because I was just doing things, so I just knew how to do things without. It's just kind of like a bit of a shrug, like, yeah, I like knowing how to drive and that sort of thing, just without really realizing it.
That sounds surreal.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. No, it's really weird, actually. Threw me off a few times.
Yeah, yeah, I can. It sounds like it would. Yeah.
But that was a while ago. But other than that, not really. It seems that, following these old routes.
I mean, that could be part of it. If you've been that far away from everyone and everything, maybe there was nothing to kind of, I don't know, tickle your synapses, however you want to say it.
That's what I was thinking. So maybe that, you know, if we sit here and chat about some whatever, some stupid shit, or just shooting the shit. A few things came back.
Oh, wow, really?
Well, going through the boxes, it's just more of the deja vu. Like, I know it's me in the pictures, but it just doesn't, feel like me.
Yeah. Makes sense. Just, it's got to be so weird.
You tell me you've got to deal with it as well. Now your old friend turns up and she's just completely different. Imagine it's weird for you as well.
Oh, yeah. Then again, I'm still kind of caught up on the whole you being alive part, which is kind of trumping the weirdness part for the most part. Yeah.
Touche. Sips the beer.
Don't worry. Eventually, she puts out the hands like, whoa, it's okay. Don't worry. Kind of gets a little dramatic with it. Like, don't worry. Eventually, the relief will fade and I will be totally weirded out. But if I'm really lucky, mm, by then, it won't seem as weird.
Oh yeah, hopefully we skipped over that bit, and so it's just easy. Or
Yeah.
easier.
I'm sorry that I can't share the overwhelming relief of you being alive is a good way to distract. But I suppose you were never worried that you were dead in the first place, so it doesn't really work out.
Just that they kind of like looking up, thinking like, I'm not gonna lie, there was part of me that was worried about everything that happened before, because I didn't know.
Well, there's that. Well, I am an open book. I can answer as much as I can if you want to ask about anything, really. Um, I mean, obviously, I don't know everything, but we spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, I picked up the yearbook.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember the yearbooks.
and well, she reaches like to wear like around her neck, which she does have the hunters thing on, which is pretty freaky. But just the gold necklace that she took out of her drawer, pulls that out from around the top. This as well, but a few things I thought, well, that just stood out over everything. Because not gonna lie, it was a shithole.
There's kind of an awkward expression as she kind of shrugs but nods along. I mean, there's a reason we hung out so much. I just stay over all the time.
I take it that was it.
What do you mean?
Well, it's kind of like nods like back, like 'cause I didn't want to be at home.
You didn't talk about it a lot? You know what was going on at home? But, I mean, we are kids, but we could put it together when you're having a rough time. I mean, hell, you started getting high together because you found it in your mom's house. So, no, we know enough. I wouldn't have wanted to be home either. Didn't sound like the kind of place a person should grow up, anyways. Besides, it was like getting a free sister, so, you know. I don't know. At the time, it was kind of nice. You watch TV and you see the sitcoms, and the sisters are always like snagging each other's clothes and fighting over tops and makeup and boys. And I didn't have brothers and sisters, so it was nice. Even if we play squabbled over who was going to wear what when we went out somewhere, it was nice. So it's like the TV families. Kind of bashfully tips the head a bit, grinning.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the sitcom hasn't really stopped. It's just relocated a little bit.
So would this technically count as like a thriller? Or I mean, it really isn't sci-fi technically.
It kind of thinks. I want to say, by the sounds of it, it probably started out like Friends and kind of turned into I guess kind of a thriller slash crime drama.
Yeah, I could buy that. Sounds like it aged well. I don't watch Friends anymore. Kind of grins. Crime dramas, on the other hand.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a crime drama.
It sounds like you're just keeping up with the times, so your genre is maturing with you.
I feel like I gave off the right vibe. It's just kind of like crosses the legs, like yeah, shrugs, like the open arm, like eh.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie.
You think?
I do. Because, I mean, you're still you, but you're definitely different. And I mean, it's not a bad thing, it's just a different thing. It's like, I don't know, alternate universe Ash?
Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe
Maybe
it
she
is.
fell through a mirror and I fell through the other side.
Could be.
Yeah, full on Twister kind of stuff.
Oh, now it is sci fi, technically. Sci fi crime drama.
Yeah. Until we get in, still start getting into hot tub time machine stuff. But
I mean, sadly, I don't have a hot tub, so we won't be able to test the theory.
neither do I. But not yet.
I mean, I have a jacuzzi.
That's literally the same thing, isn't it?
It's smaller. Usually, like, hot tub is like, keep it out on the patio, fits like 4 more people. It's just a jacuzzi bath. It's a slightly bigger bathtub with jets in it.
That's a hydro bath, right?
She kind of shrugs.
The kind of trip I don't fucking know.
I mean, it was sold to me as a jacuzzi to sound fancy, but she shrugs.
It sounds pretty fancy. Sounds very fancy. I might have to get a fancy bath.
You could absolutely get a fancy bath. Oh, and spoiler, because I did test it. She leans over like she is imparting a great wisdom. Putting bubble bath in a jacuzzi is the best decision I ever made. You could practically build a fucking castle.
I imagine it just fills the room.
I mean, it probably could have. I did have a little self restraint, but it was pretty awesome. Grinning. But yeah, you could get really fancy. I've got bath bombs and everything.
It's kind of like, huh?
Have you ever tried one? She's grinning over.
Shakes her head.
I mean, everyone makes it sound like they're a super big deal, and oh, the oils and the fragrances, and look, it's essentially like the adult version of bubble bath, except instead of putting it in while you're filling the tub and getting a mountain of bubbles, it puts glitter in the water, makes it smell fancy, it turns it colors. It's pretty much just bubble bath for adults. It's neat. And they do feel fancy sometimes, especially the ones that have like, I'm not joking, I have ones that have like flower petals in them. So you throw them in there and it turns the bath like pink and there's rose petals suddenly everywhere, explosively fizzing out of this bath bomb.
It's just the look, Jane, like, do we even have a bath at the house?
Uh, here's the sticker is like, yes, technically there is a tub under the shower head, but God help you with a single bathroom household and like 8 people in it if someone wanted to actually take a good bath. Jane has a new goal: install another bath.
It's not even that. You think someone's gonna try and walk in on Jane? Just pulls the shotgun out of the fucking water.
Got like 3 little rose petals sticking to it.
Just hanging out the barrel. Oh shit! It's just a moment of thinking. That image flies through her head. No, the bath we have isn't exactly the best. Plus, it's yeah, it's just not the best.
Yeah, there's a face scrunch. Well, you are more than welcome to have a fancy bath here.
Well, I might take you up on that one day.
I mean, if you're staying the night, feel free. If you want to come back another time, feel free.
Just kind of looks around. Well, if you're offering, it means I can just get drunk.
I mean, sure. If you want, I can even, if you still want to go to the club, I can drive you there. Or we can catch an Uber. Thankfully, we're going as customers, so as long as we can make it through the door, we're pretty much go.
I mean, could always ride on the back of the bike.
The bike.
Yeah.
Oh,
The growing smile.
you rode a bike for like, what, 2-3 hours?
Yeah.
Jesus. On the highway?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to a chance to ride on a bike, but
It's a nice bike.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Hold that thought for a second. I'm going to pull the pizzas out first. She like does the point, but then I want to see this bike.
She just the smile, like yes, yes.
Of course you do. Yes. She hops up and bustles over into the kitchen, and yeah, sure enough, timer's going off right about then, and yeah, she'll pull out the pizzas. It is a comical dance of "Don't burn my fingers," because again, utensils are for losers. But she sets them up on top of the stove, turns the oven off, and is like, "Okay, I have to see this. I'm not even gonna lie."
Well, all right. And she, stands up, does put back on the holster, put the gun in it, puts the jacket back on.
Meanwhile, she just like slips on some shoes, grabs a jacket.
There's no way Jane's going out this fucking place without that gun. Because she's paranoid.
What?
Riddled with paranoia. I don't know what you're talking about. Definitely not loaded with fucking fire bullets either.
Definitely not. That would
Actually, well, that would be overcomplicating things. Shifty eyes. But no, she will, like, lead her all the way out to the bike.
Yeah, she follows eagerly along. She is definitely curious. And, once you point out the bike, there's like the, ooh, kind of just, ooh, a look of, I've always wanted a bike. But, I mean, who hasn't always wanted a bike? Oh my God. Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's the fascination of someone who's not had the opportunity to ride on a motorcycle before. So it's very novel. I mean, on the bright side, for both you and Switchback and her, she doesn't like just she's kind of comically respectful and just kind of brushing the fingers along the bike like that is so cool. Definitely not something we would want to drive drunk, but wow.
So I'm sure we, don't worry about it. We'll leave it at the club if need be. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I guess. Probably means we shouldn't get plastered in advance because I actually really want to ride.
No, I think, well, if you're this excited about it, I'm sure you'll love it. Because old Switchback here, she walks up and like pats the handlebars. Could say it's got a mind of its own.
Well, people always say stuff like that. I wish mine did. Yeah, there's a glance towards like the parking deck, but a shrug. I always wondered how people come up with the names. Then again, I'm pretty sure most of the guys name them after like ex-girlfriends or something.
Probably, but I don't know anybody called Switchback.
Nope, that is a properly creative one, and I like it. Yeah, it's just there's a couple minutes of just like her enjoying the novelty of like, oh my god, I get to touch a bike. So what's it like driving one for so long?
Well, it's a little uncomfortable, but she shrugs. It's just what I do.
You know what? It seems like a very you thing. Kind of grinning.
Well, Anton has his car and all that, but I like something a little more flexible, I guess. And it's loud. So
It's definitely more flashy than a car.
to a particular taste.
I suppose it is. And I suppose I shouldn't be all into bikes, but you know, the more your mom tells you shouldn't, the more you are. So here we are. Like, okay.
Do you want to give it a go?
Not like now.
Just pulls the keys out of her pocket.
You see the inner adult struggle for a moment before she's like, yeah, I really do. I can reheat the pizza. I don't even care.
Yeah, Jane will just go. Walk over, put the keys in, start the ignition. And obviously it roars to life, being the hyped up piece of shit that it is.
It is. Look, it's very excitable sometimes. And yeah, she comes over and you gotta like fold out the foot pegs on the back and show her where to stick her feet and how to get on. Thankfully, it is not a massive struggle. It's just once you explain it, she's oh, okay. And yeah, she hops up behind and like a novice passenger would do, on the bright side, it'll make it easier for like tipping balance and whatnot. She like hops up and immediately does like the around the middle grab.
It's just that second of where Jay just like holds her hands, just pushes them down, just like, yep, just down here.
Yeah. You can't do it. She's just like, sorry.
Yeah, she'll just give it a quick spin. Because you know what? Fuck it.
Block.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because the first turn is comical. Thankfully, with her like up against your back, she can't counter lean, which is an issue when you're trying to turn and someone's trying to lean the wrong direction, as if they're like trying to make up the difference because they don't want to tip over. But with her, you know, down against you, she can't really do that. So she leans into it whether she likes it or not. And like, there's a comical like moment of like face pressed in your back, like. But by after the third turn, you know, she's loosened up a little more. She's actually like picked her head up and is still looking around and everything. And yeah, by the time you take the fourth, she hasn't let go of you, but she's sat back a wee bit more, just so she can take things in. And by the time you park, it's just like, that was awesome.
And she, turns it off, throws the leg over. Told you.
And once you've gotten off, she can actually just kick her leg forward and over. And, hops down. Not a lot of issue. Okay, that's actually awesome.
See, why wouldn't I want to ride that for at least 2 hours?
You know what? I think I'm about it. I might have to actually look into getting classes. Like, looking at the bike like, oh.
Well, if you ever decide to, come up our end, there's a good few of us.
Really?
Yeah. All girls. Just smiles, just like, yeah.
She cracks the grin. That actually sounds awesome. I mean, the others, yes, you guys, start walking away from the bike finally.
And I should start walking up, and well, there's Becca. And Brigida.
Brigida. That's
Yeah.
a name.
I don't know, like European or something.
Yeah, sounds like.
It's a lot more interesting than Jane.
She heaves a shrug like, dead. This is going to be a weird question, but why Jane?
Because when I woke up in the hospital, that's what was around my wrist. Jane Doe.
Oh, shit. Like the hands come up like, oh. Oh, wow. And you just decided to keep that?
Yeah. After that, just kind of, stuck.
Wow. That is, I mean, I guess it's kind of metal, but damn.
Is it edgy enough? I feel like it's edgy enough.
I feel like it's almost, it risks being too edgy. Dangerously close to too edgy.
Just causes a problem with IDs and stuff like that, obviously.
Yes, I imagine you trying to get a driver's license for Jane Doe would be complicated. Never mind, you have to prove your ID with like birth certificates and social security numbers. And I remember the snafu just trying to get you a learner's permit.
That's just why I never bothered. Actually, a miracle I haven't been pulled over yet.
I mean, if you don't get into crashes and stuff and don't speed like a demon, chances are you never will be. Just, I guess at that point, make sure no one else crashes into you.
Well, if somebody crashed into me and trashed my bike, I'd be really, really pissed.
Solid point. By the time someone's crashing into a bike, you've usually got bigger problems than whether or not you have a license.
Yeah, she just nods. Fair point.
Jesus. I remember my mom calling them donor cycles, especially when I got interested in them.
Donor cycles.
Oh, yeah. Because if anything hits you, she kind of shrugs.
Well, you just gotta get good at driving so you avoid it.
I do hear defensive driving's the way to go. Jokingly, she, goes over. Thankfully, you guys weren't outside for too long. So, goes over, finally pulls out the pizza cutter. And honestly, she just cuts the two on like a cutting board, transfers them onto plates, and brings them over, sets them on the table. Then goes back and grabs some more beer. Just comes over. Not like a ton, just like a second can for each of them. So what are they like, the girls?
Well, funnily enough, I guess Becca's was kind of into, what we were doing to begin with. But she's pretty cool. Good with her hands. Knows her shit. Definitely not afraid to tell you something. And Brigade is pretty much the same, but on steroids.
No.
Just nods. Smirking.
Well, all right. Just kind of. No, that makes sense.
No, they're good people.
I mean, if they're part of the same group Anton was talking about, sounds like they'd fit the bill. And it's at least 2 people I know are watching your back. Besides Anton.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Like one big dysfunctional but happy family.
I don't think I've ever seen a family that wasn't dysfunctional, so
So you wait till you see this lot.
did I get to meet everyone? Would that be weird?
I guess one day. Depends how often you come up and if you decide that you want to move up.
And I just figured I'd make sure I kept it at your pace, but if you're there and there's a place where I can get some work and keep doing what keeps me flush enough to seriously consider buying a bike. then
Well, then
it's not like I've got any other routes here.
if that's what you choose, then you'll meet the people worth meeting.
I mean, if you think they're worth meeting. You said the only anchor I've got here really is working for Joel, so. And it sounds like Anton was trying to either had a place or was going to open a place or something.
Let's just say me and Anton are working on it.
Yeah. So, yeah, as soon as there's a job, yeah, I'll probably move. You're the only family I've got in the state, pretty much. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know about
Total weirdo and move out there without talking to you and making sure we were still good, because you are different, and I don't want to assume that you just want me right around all the time, all over again. But it'd be kind of cool if you did. Just saying. Not trying to influence the decision, of course. I'll hand wave.
I'm not gonna lie. It's been an interesting year or so now, but when you get in this kind of situation, you don't really trust people enough to get close. Especially with some of the shit that we deal with. So having somebody that I was already halfway there. It's kind of nice.
Halfway there?
Well, I mean, you know a lot about me. And now, while it doesn't always fully transfer over, like you said, it's pretty much all there. It's just different.
Yeah.
Ish.
Definitely different. But like I said, not bad. Just different.
Just kind of like the open arms, kind of like mouthful of pizza. That works for me.
Well, at the very least, I imagine you'll get a better grasp when you meet your fan club back at work.
Fan club.
Like I said, you're kind of a social butterfly. You made a lot of friends there. And when you came around last time, I made sure Joel knew in advance so he could beat them off with a stick. So they didn't just swarm you. Didn't want you to get freaked out your first time back. So
Not gonna lie, it's kind of weird actually being in a place and everybody knowing where I am.
just let me know if they get to be too much. Can have a she like grins over her slice of pizza. Can have a safe word if you want. Just give me a heads up. I need to tell people to give you some breathing room.
Well, I think I'll be all right.
All right. I mean, you probably will. I just don't want anything else bad to happen.
Nothing else bad's gonna happen. And if it does, then I'll put a stop to it very fucking quickly. I can tell you that.
All right.
She just smiles at that, like, yes, yes, I will.
Well, fuck it. You know, she sits back finally. You know, new slice of pizza, just settles back on the couch. So, what kind of music are you listening to nowadays? Different music. I don't know. You're driving the bike now, which is a change. Um, Movies, hobbies.
Well, kind of thinks. I guess I've taken up gardening.
Gardening.
Yeah. It's just a smile, like the smile of like, yeah, you didn't expect that, did you?
Yep, the hands finally come up. Like I don't even know what to say in response to that. Okay, gardening. That is not one of the ones I expected, but all right.
Yeah, gardening, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, well, I take care of a garden.
Like flower garden, herb garden. You guys like, I don't know, growing corn out there or something?
No, we're not we're not farmers, and well, it's not anything Which it's just, you know, load of flowers and stuff. It's a
Well,
big garden.
that's actually pretty cool and weird and not what I expected, but not bad. Okay, you got me with the gardening.
Yeah, gardening. Technically, I run a place.
The plays.
Yeah, I run a place, bar thing, bar/club.
Oh, the one. Yeah, yeah. He did say you were involved in that. I did not realize you were the one running it. You really didn't talk about who did what.
It's my place.
Oh, all right. You're running a club.
Yeah,
How's that feel?
just the kind of it's a it's totally nothing smile, but she shrugs. It's a smug grin. That's all right.
It looks like you're digging it.
Well, of course I dig it. It's my place.
Is it themed?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, it
There's
could be.
November. What kind of themes are you thinking?
I don't know yet. Maybe if we, when you come up, you might have to have a sit down. We'll talk through it.
I will definitely have to come check it out.
That's pretty good. It serves its purpose. A bit of money comes in. It's nothing major at the minute.
I mean, the first little bit seems to be the hardest. Getting established, getting a good customer base. But once you got it, especially if the club's good, they'll bring more people.
Yeah, so I've got that, and obviously the girls in there as well.
How are they?
If you say how or who,
How?
pretty solid. There are a few people we've pulled out of some shit.
Oh,
Best place to do is set them up.
wow. That's actually awesome.
It's not necessarily the best thing that what they want, but it's a roof above their head. It's a bit of money. It's a bit of something. It's safe.
Yeah, it's certainly better than having nothing. No job.
And obviously, it means that me and Anton are looking out for him, so protection. We run a pretty tight ship.
Well, that actually sounds really good. Especially if you're able to use it to help people out. That's better.
Well, I'm glad you agree.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. But I mean, a good crew makes work so much better.
Yeah. Got a pretty decent crew. It's got some solids. Obviously, if you hadn't figured it out yet, Anton's a top dog.
Top dog. Even at the club.
Well, the club's mine. but technically, as his second, we run it as a crew. So it's everybody's. But it falls under the the ship that we've made. Details.
Sounds complicated.
It's not really that complicated. You'll figure it out. It's kind of like the hand wave.
Oh, yeah. Never fear. I am adaptable. If I can go from retail to package to delivery to stripping, kind of just, I feel like I can make a jump like that without too much issue.
Well, you said you wanted to carry on doing what you're doing, so the jump for you won't be overly that big.
Just adjusting to new coworkers and new management, really.
Well, if everything goes to plan, it'll be management will be me and Anton, but there'll be a few others that you can trust.
There's the display of hands again. Sounds good. As long as we don't have a proverbial that guy, that'll be set.
Well, if anybody gives you trouble, you tell me.
Oh, don't worry. I have no issue bitching, and it's you. So I doubly have no issue bitching.
I'll sort them out.
Oh, yeah. Whew.
But aside from the cool stuff that's been going on, music, I don't know, pretty much anything. I was introduced to the 90s / 2000s rock and shit like that. So it's kind of what I've been sticking with for the minute. But Spice Girls do hit a spot.
They definitely hit a spot. Wow. Gardening. She just looks over like gardening.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I can't see it.
Well, maybe one day you'll see the proof.
Well, I hope so. You've got a giant garden full of flowers and stuff. Come on. You can't just tell me it exists and then never let me look at it.
Well, that all depends on what happens, doesn't it? Just smiles.
Well, even if I didn't move, I'd still be visiting.
You would, but there's protocol.
Do I have to get a visitor's pass?
I don't even think we do those yet.
Yet means you're thinking about it.
I am thinking about it. But there's always a risk involved.
What kind of risk?
There's a risk.
I hope you guys don't just wildly fire at everything that walks onto your property. That would suck for me, mostly.
Oh, no, we don't do that. Trust me, I have things in place that we don't do that.
Well, that's good. I like the reassurance that I won't get shot. It's a thing I'm a fan of.
Yeah. But I can't disclose any more information because that's classified.
Oh.
Yeah.
Need to know basis.
Told you we run a tight ship.
She's just a little thoughtful friend. I'm like, oh,
I remind you, it's a crime drama.
it is a crime drama. Well, I'll make sure I get full permission. Gotta follow the protocol.
Exactly.
Can't just be going to look at a garden willy nilly.
No. Secret garden.
Is it a secret? Is there a wall or with a key hidden behind a brick?
Not yet. But there could be.
Ludicrously gigantic doors.
I could make that happen.
You can make that happen.
I could make that happen. Just the smile growing on her face like that.
I mean, you don't remember watching that movie, do you? That's fun. I'll have to dig out. Huh. Because, it's no fun if you don't get my references, so. I'm afraid you'll have just a laundry list.
Well, if I'm spending the night, I don't see why not.
Yeah, hell with it. You could just. Lord, you can pick up practically anything I've got. At least gives me a starting point for references. I feel like you should. Yeah, we got this.
Well, it seems like you've got a plan.
I do. There's
Okay.
there's fancy baths and there's movies. I do have an abundance of popcorn because I snack
Right.
shamelessly and constantly.
Oh, good. I like a plan.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Hell, we've got a while before we even need to head to the club. Really? Is there anything you want to do in particular, or just sit here and keep playing keep doing the questions game?
Well, I can sit here and bullshit.
Well, all right.
So, I'm easy.
Hmm. What was that?
Huh?
Oh, sorry, my cat snored suddenly and I was trying to figure out what that weird snorting noise was. Yeah, she'll pull out she'll do the casual like phone pull out check, but if there's anything that's happened, she's either had it muted or the world is a dull place today, really. Well, we are thoroughly pizzaed. I've got plenty of beer. I've got sweet tea. I've got lemonade, of course. Well, but we can chill here. I am a selfish bitch, so I carried the TV upstairs. Man. I don't know. I feel like there's so much I could ask, but
Just ask. Doesn't bother me. Like you said you're an open book. Well, I'm pretty open as well. Apart from the stuff that I can't tell you, because that's we need to get to season 2 for that one.
that's classified.
Huh? It's classified.
Hmm. Sounds very serious.
Yeah. I could do a whole spiel about how I'm not telling you to protect you and all that, and we could do a real dramatic sequence about it.
Oh. I mean, if you're game, I am more than happy to hear this monologue. Smoking over.
Well, all right then. She just stands up.
She starts snickering almost immediately. She did not expect you to call that bluff.
Yeah, she walks over, sits down next to her, puts the beer down.
Very dramatically walks like 2 steps to get to the other side of the couch. Sits
Yep.
back down. Yep, she's doing the whole I'm not laughing face. Nope.
Yeah, puts the beer down, takes the beer out of her hand, puts it on the table, holds onto her hands, looks her in the eyes. I can't tell you everything. What I don't tell you because I need to protect you. I need to protect everybody else around me. It's just who I am. It's just what I do.
Wow. Wow. I thought you were bluffing.
It's just that. So finally, like the serious face just kind of like wiped off, and she just grins.
Wow. All right. Oh, if it's for my own safety. Of course.
Of course. I wouldn't want you to get hurt now, would I?
I mean, I hope not.
And if you did, well,
Like, there's a curious glance. Are you about to quote a mobster movie?
sorry, say that again.
Just the as she's like, and if you did, and there's a pause, and she's like, she finally leans in. Are you about to quote a or a mobster movie?
Maybe. You know, to be take your pick. I would say Sleep with the Fishes.
I mean, that is a classic, and at least in Richmond, it's totally doable.
Eh?
We've got the James.
That's not my style.
You're not a sleep with the fishes type?
Not a Sleep with the Fishes type.
No cement shoes for you, huh?
No.
Are you a I'd hate for something terrible to happen to your family type?
If need be.
No.
It's not the go-to.
What's the go-to then?
Just straight up fucking kneecap somebody.
Oh. Well.
But luckily nobody's pissed me off that much yet. Surprisingly, in fact. But if anybody were to hurt my friends or people that I care about, well, then they get more than that.
I'm hoping I make it into the friend category. Even if we're just, re-meeting, kind of starting fresh.
Well, you say that, but I'd consider you in the inner circle.
Yeah, the grin is playful, but the relief is real. I am not gonna lie, especially with when Anton called saying he was going to bring you out. I was terrified that you would not be a fan of me, and I'd have this surreal experience of finding out my best friend was alive and didn't even really like me anymore.
To be honest, it's kind of why I've been pretty adamant on the whole Jane thing. Last thing I want to do is come around using an old name and then people putting up expectations and wanting that same person back, but it's not properly me anymore.
I guess even if you did, one day have this crazy revelation and suddenly remember everything like movie style, it's not like the you that you are now wouldn't have ever happened.
No, but just kind of like the shrug of like,
Just a really needlessly roundabout way of saying that's pretty valid.
I just. I guess I just didn't want to turn up and say I am who I used to be, and then clearly you find out that I'm not exactly that. I don't like pretending to be something that I'm probably not. And I didn't want to.
You don't.
And I know that, technically kind of meeting for the however many time, but last thing I wanted to do was hurt you.
Yeah, there's kind of the smile. Pardon as I am dying, so I'm quickly gonna swap out this chair. Or hopefully quickly. So pardon all the banging and clanking and whatnot. For a moment. In fact, I'll be right back because I'll have to step out of headphone range. So 2 seconds, please.
All right.
Okay, that is much better. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
But yeah, again, it's the fact that even if this is, I mean, for Jane, the second time they're meeting, the fact that she's invested enough to give a shit about hurting her, it hits a note, it hits a chord. You can tell. How long have you had to think about this kind of stuff, really?
By what do you mean exactly?
I mean, I don't. It's just mature as hell.
I think a lot.
Well, I'm glad I'm worth some of the time that you spend doing it.
Well, it'd be rude if you weren't, wouldn't it?
I mean, this may be the 100,000th time we've met for me, but for you, it's the second. I don't know that it's rude, just imagine there's a lot of things that you have to think about.
There is. But I'm also very protective. And you've fallen into that, so you're stuck with it now. Just the shrug, like, ha.
Like, I'm sorry, but this is your life now. Yeah, there's just the shrug of like, oh, well, that seems acceptable. Yeah. I don't even see why I'd want to protest, really. Just, how bad was it? It's a side glance.
Probably the worst experience of my life.
I mean, at the risk of getting kind of real and kind of personal, I can't imagine what it's like to wake up and not know who you are, or where you were yesterday, or anything before that.
No. Just woke up in a hospital. You know, all the tubes in my arm and back of my hand, and the heart rate monitor going. The busy doctors out in front of me. Not a single scratch. But no idea who I was, what I was doing here, where I was, what was going on. And this. The worst thing is that when I started to put things in place, make up my own whys and hows, it was a realization that I'm all on my own. And that was the worst thing.
Well, it's a concerned frown, and honestly, you plunked pretty close to her when you were doing the hold on, heart to heart, I'm doing this for you conversation, and maybe she should think twice about it, but she doesn't. There's just kind of a concerned frown, and she leans over to like the arm up around the back of her shoulders, give her a squeeze. I know it's been like, a whole year since all that happened, but if you ever want to talk about any of it or just don't want to be by yourself, I always have room for you.
I appreciate it.
I know you felt like you were alone. Just hope it helps to know that there were people worried about you, wondering where you were, wondering if you're okay. I know that was, like I said, it was like a year ago, but I feel like it's one of the things you'd wonder about. People knew you were gone. Who were worried about you.
Yeah. Well, in the time where I was by myself, it's pretty much all I thought about. I tried, reconnecting, trying to find out places, retrace steps, see what was familiar. I tried researching and all that. But even then, I couldn't bring up much.
I mean, I guess you didn't have your ID on you or anything, so where do you even start?
Yeah, exactly. Then Anton found me. I decided, fuck it. Took up his offer, went with him. The rest is history, pretty much.
So, were you and Anton like a thing?
What do you mean? Like a thing? Thing?
Yeah, like a thing.
No. No. No, we're not.
I was lost and alone, and someone scooped me up and gave me a place to feel safe. I mean, would make sense. And apparently, you're like his second in command now. So, unless all the other people involved are as new as you are.
She doesn't. You know what? I will give this because it is. Jane may be different from Ash, but both of them Well, Jane is a considerably worse liar. She's very bad at. Well, she's not a bad liar. She's just this is a topic that does not come up often for her. And this, you know what? It's not that she doesn't say anything. It's that the face. She says no, and it's believable no. But the guilt on her face probably says a bit more as well. She just takes a sip of the beer. Nah. It sounds pretty fairy tale, but it's not that exciting.
I mean, I'm just saying, fairy tales aside, it's how, I mean, people fall in love with policemen and firemen. You form a pretty hard and fast emotional attachment to people that, from your perspective, save your life. And I know you weren't, being held at gunpoint or something when he found you, but you're by yourself. And suddenly this person found you and you didn't have to be.
We're not a thing. She just smiling, shakes her head.
It's a little bit of a glean and a glance because you know what? She has gotten maybe a little less efficient in the lag. Because you're not interested, or because it just hasn't happened to go that way yet?
Because there are a lot of things in the way. But
That is very vague.
you know what? I know that, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it.
Okay. Is there anyone you're seeing? I mean, it sounds like you guys have a pretty healthy sized little. I don't even know if it's little. Gotta have a decent sized gang of people together. If the news articles are anything to go by.
No. No, there's no one. Not gonna lie, it's been one of those things I just haven't, you know.
Inquisitive glance.
It's just a Jane.exe. Yeah, I mean, for Maisie's sake, it is like this entire time. Yeah, she's been nervous. There's been like this aura of nervousness about her because she doesn't want to upset her, and she knows that now. But now this is something else. It's almost like she's cracked an egg that hasn't been looked at in a long time, or even ever, really.
I guess with all the tagging and vigilante justice, and the gardening, you haven't really had time to think about it.
It's when that and when you get into this kind of life, you just there's not a lot of people I get close to.
Yes, that makes sense.
The only people that really know anything about me are, well, Anton, Becca, one other, and, well, you.
One other.
One other, but for her sake, her name is staying classified for now.
Yeah, the hands just kind of split like, all right, fuck it. I am not going to pry on that. All right. It's better than zero you started with. I'll take it as a win.
It is better than zero, but it's just not one of those things I've ever thought about.
And now that you're thinking of it,
I don't really know.
well, let's be honest. It's not like it's exactly the kind of thing you want to just leap into for the sake of leaping into, anyways. So, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But if you decide it's broken, you need a wingman, or at least just someone to make sure you don't get drugged while you're out. I am totally here for you.
As much as I would believe that if somebody tried to drug me, it'd end much worse for them than it would me, I still appreciate it.
I mean, everyone likes to think they're invincible. So, fair enough. But better safe than sorry, especially when some people are psychos.
And there's plenty of those out there.
There are way too many of them out there. Holy shit. Just kind of nose pinch, like, pff. Thankfully, usually by the time I'm seeing people like that, it's the other end of the bouncer's arm range, and totally not my problem anymore if it was in the first place. So, fuck them.
Well, that's good at least. Yeah, she does. Okay. The smile appears, but I mean, it's obvious that she's tense.
Right. Well, awkward potential relationship talk, which is probably grossly inappropriate aside. Yeah, let's glance over. seem pretty tense. Gonna call it on the serious talk for a bit.
Just sort of questions I've never really been asked before.
I mean, let's face it, they're nosy girlfriend questions, as opposed to complete stranger, concerned citizen type questions.
True. And well, like I said, it's not like I've probably sat down with anybody and spent time.
I will be right back. Well, I'm back. Sorry about that. My cat has a
All right.
Yeah. Stuff on the floor and everything. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I'm back with a smash. I mean, are there? So fair enough. It was a pretty normal, if wildly unrelated question. Is it something you want to think about? Because I mean, if you want, we can bar hop after we hit the club. This is a judgment-free zone. I'm just saying. Kind of splitting the smile.
I don't know about just grabbing anybody.
Fair. I mean, what are you into besides gardening and definitely gun rights?
Well, I wouldn't say gun rights, but I like to carry 'em. Safety. Sage nod.
It's just kind of like the, huh, fair.
Well, it's uh work mainly. I guess I'm quite a workaholic.
A little interested brown it. So, at the risk of asking another loaded question, why do you guys do it? Why do you do it?
How? What was that? How or why?
Why?
Because if I don't, I know there's shit out there that's going to be a lot worse for a lot more people. If I don't do it, who the fuck else will?
I mean, I heard about all the stuff with the girls that you guys are getting out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first time Anton came down, he, I mean, I wouldn't tell him, like, anything. Because, I mean, I didn't know who he was. But, he showed me a picture of you on his phone. Like a selfie of you guys being ridiculous. Because I wanted to know that he knew you. And then I told him more, but he seemed really worried that there was something fucked up going on. And he told me about, I mean, he basically owned up to the whole crow thing. And to be fair, he got kind of spooky. He got really intense about it. And I mean, I don't follow the news in Roanoke, so I didn't really know what he was on about, but I asked him later why he did what he did, because after he left, I did check the news to see if it was just a flex. But yeah, he told me about stuff like the girls, the people. I mean, I could only imagine we could use another group like that here. There's some areas of Richmond that you just don't go to at night. Or at least if you have to, you don't stop and you keep your doors locked. But that's really why you guys do all of it? Just because there are people out there that are being garbage hurting the people around them.
Some people out there that are causing nothing but grief, spreading like a plague. Just awful things. I've seen some shit. But I've done what I've had to do. Because you can't save everybody. At least I'm gonna damn well fucking try.
I mean, you can't save everybody, but I imagine saving even one person feels pretty good.
Yeah. It does. You've saved a good number.
Just
Pulled a lot of people from that kind of shithole. Pulled a lot of people from that kind of life that were forced into it. Giving people another chance. Those that didn't necessarily get the choice the first time round.
don't end up being the tragic hero story where either collateral damage kills you inside or law enforcement kills you outside.
I think the unfortunate thing is that we both know I can't promise that.
I mean, you could promise to try really hard. That seems like a good step. I take that.
I do try really hard. It's my job to put things in place to make sure that what we do works. To make sure everybody's kept safe as they can be and nobody takes anything unnecessary that they shouldn't. It's what I'm good at, it's what I do.
Just at least if you only get broken on the inside, come back to my place. I'll make you really obnoxiously fancy cocoa, and I will keep emergency bath bombs. Look, it's really hard to be depressed when there's like colorful glitter and fancy smells and stuff. Some of them even have confetti. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm not going to turn it down. I'm just going to make you aware I know what I signed up for. You know what? I guess it made me what I am today. Actually, I'm pretty confident it made me what I am today.
Just don't disappear again.
I don't plan on going anywhere. Now that I can't promise.
You know what? I'll take what I can get. Definitely take it. And, checking her phone. Glance over. So, question now is, I know this has been kind of heavy. Do you still want to go to the club tonight, or you just want to hang out here?
Well, part of the reason I wanted to go to the club was because I did want to grill Joel a little bit.
Fair enough.
But I'm still curious.
All right.
Still want to know what happened.
I don't think even Joel knows, honestly.
No, but he can point me in a direction.
Fair. All right. Okay, let's go before open. I was always there early, anyways.
And she, finishes the beer, stands up.
So good to drive?
I'll be fine.
Okay.
Plus, I couldn't deny how much you want to ride on the back of the bike.
Quick of a smile. I mean, as long as I survive the experience, I'll be thrilled. And to be fair, it's like 2 years, so.
Yeah, she'll head on down. Oh, obviously waiting for Maisie to get ready a bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're heading in before it even opens, so fuck it. She just pulls on some nicer shoes than the ones she did last time and probably changes her top. Pretty quick, like. Just throws her hair up and heads over.
Yeah, no, Jane will get on the bike, fire it up, and ride on over to where it is.
All right. I'm just going to cheat and pull up the overlay I still have sitting from last time. The place really isn't that fancy on the outside. It's actually very plain. Oh, the sign isn't bad, but it's really not much. But yeah, sure enough, you can head over. This time around, I'm not going to lie to you. Maisie just kind of says, fuck it, has her pull into the back, pulls out a key. Actually, you know what? There's probably like a keypad for the girls. So just walks up, puts in a number, waits for the buzz or the little green light and opens it. Just gestures like that. Come on.
Yeah, no, she does.
Yeah, once she's in and has closed the door behind him, it's just like, Joe! She heads in. And for Jane to compare, because she did go to Stripapalooza in its heyday, and she has seen what the back of house was like. Coming into the back here, it's pretty fucking clean. There's no sus smells. The carpet's, indecent upkeep. It's got wear and tear of just being used for years, but still in decent repair. Yeah, there's
Hmm.
probably a stain here or there. That what you gonna do? But walking
It-
past like the bathrooms, past the dressing area. All in all, it's pretty put together. It's not bad. It's really not. It's kind of glamorous. Yeah.
Definitely not the shithole that Stripperpalooza was.
Oh God. Look, the front of house there was worse than the back of house here. And that is tragic. But yeah, she goes traipsing through the back and goes over, smacks her knuckles on the office door. The dung 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 Joel! And I mean, you'll probably catch glimpses of Samantha, who is on tonight and is doing the usual setup for the bar. So it's lugging buckets of ice, coming back to the big walk-in fridge and grabbing out, there's a side table there where she parses out things like the maraschino cherries, pulls out the mint sprigs, pulls out, is setting up the garnish for the drinks, just stocking things and essentially getting herself ready. So I mean, you'll see the purple hair flash by periodically, but at least as far as the other dancers, they really haven't rolled in yet. And sure enough, after a moment, Joel does come answering the door, and it's just like it's the thing where he opens the door and he looks at her like, "Why are you like this?" Actually, the what? But what actually though? Look, a half a second later, spots you and just ah. And what can I do for you, ladies?
Well, I was wondering if you wanted to have that chat.
Of course. Step into my office. He just steps out of the way. Does the arm sweep of like, yes. Welcome to my partner.
And Jane will walk in.
Yeah, it's not it really isn't the Ritz of offices. You can tell he spared himself a little cash on the computer's decent and like reasonably new. But like the desk, God knows how long that's been there. The chair's decent. The ones out where you and if she came in, Maisie could sit. Decent repair. She does kind of glance after, like, let me wait outside.
It's just a nod.
Cool. Just give a holler when you guys are done. I'll be around. Yeah, she'll even close the door for you guys, and you guys can, even with I'll put it this way: there is a walkway that is not carpeted because you gotta imagine the heels and all. So you can hear her kind of click clacking away. But Joel does sit down on his side of the desk. But doesn't sit back like a gangster. No, he leans forward more businessman like. Elbows up on the desk, hands kind of clasped. So what all would you like to talk about? I am sure you have many questions.
Well, you're definitely right there. She pulls out one of the chairs, she does, kind of move it towards the middle because I don't want to talk to your side. I want to talk to the middle of you. It's not the it is a little bit posturing, but it's not meant in that sort of way, clearly, because she's got a big smile on her face.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem especially put off by you being like, no, I will sit in the front and center. If anything, he kind of pulls a grin up on. Just, yep, that's about right. And he does get himself settled a little more.
Yeah, she takes a seat. So, should we start with just business? Or do you want to get personal first?
Oh, whatever suits you.
All right then. So I was wondering if I could hopefully pick your brains for a moment.
Of course.
How well do you remember the night that I went missing?
If nothing else, the explanations to the police when you were missing for an extended period of time. I went over it many, many times. I have a fairly good recollection.
Because I know it's pretty difficult to figure out what exactly happened, but not gonna lie, I do want to figure it out.
It is complicated to put together certain parts of it here. And you know, kind of sits down, kind of like puts the hand on the desk, like, all right, let me lay this out, even though there's not a paper there. The night that you went missing, you were, he kind of gestures, you were my top girl, you were one of my best package deliverers. The customers loved you. You seem to very much enjoy the work. We had a new client. And so, of course, you're the one that has to take the product to this new client. Go, drop off the package, collect the money, come back. It's very straightforward, really. And of course, all of the customers that you have dealt with, all of the clients, they know the rules. This man knew the rules. There should not have been any complication. Instead, what happened is that you never came back from the drop off. And it would seem that this man and two of his friends were found dead the next day.
Well, if it makes you feel at all any better, when I did wake up in the hospital with no memory, I did have a large sum of money with me that I kept to myself.
A wry smirk. I did not doubt that you would do exactly what you had set out to do. You have delivered for me many times. Well, I was concerned. I am relieved that it was as simple as waking up in the hospital. Even if your memory is gone, at least you are well.
Luckily, not a scratch on me.
I'm not gonna lie, he does look surprised by that. Just like, oh. I mean, after all waking up in the hospital, it's just like, oh.
But we'll save that for the personal section. What I was wondering is, I imagine Anton's probably grilled you about this already, but
Catch that tiny nod of like the little frown of you ain't wrong.
I'm going to guess you don't have any kind of form of contact with this client. This client didn't come back. This client was just one time and gone.
This client is very dead.
Hmm.
And
Can you
he
tell
did not
me
exactly
more?
leave me next of kin.
Well, it's nice to know he was at least one of the people that were found, I guess.
Yes. The client and, as far as I can tell, two of his companions. Found dead at the meeting point, or not far from it.
And I'm assuming that there was no evidence of anything.
If you do not mind my being crude,
Of course not.
uh, the police said they had been mauled, torn to pieces.
It is the
Very brutal.
I don't. It is the not sure what Joel is expecting, but Jane does not seem at all phased by the thought of that. The stare and the look does not change. She just blinks.
I mean, in Joel's defense, it's not like she vividly remembers something terrible happening. He's more. You can tell he's kind of like watching to see if you grow nervous or concerned. He's paying more attention to not studying how you think, but is just kind of keeping an eye.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if anything, it's like, oh, good. We did not have a flashback. Awesome. There was no sign of you. Except apparently, they mentioned finding some pieces of clothing that did not match. But they were also shredded. I did not. Yeah, he kind of finally lifts the hands. I assumed you were dead. They assumed you were dead. They did continue looking. There was no body. There was no purse, no shoes.
Hmm. When did the cops just look into this?
There was some men from North Carolina. Something social services. That did come up and they did talk to me. Yes. Not other than this. No, just the girls. Always asking. But no, the police came. They took statement. They came and took statement again. Easy then. We searched the building. What? Then they leave.
Out of curiosity, the name of the client? They have a name?
I probably still have it. One moment. He like rolls back a little bit. Little rolly office chair. Pulls open a filing cabinet. From there, like you could tell he's. I mean, you can hear the files just kind of being to one side. And when he closes the door, he comes up with essentially the equivalent of a little black book. Flips through. And fuck it, he just tears a page out, offers it over.
Yeah, she takes it,
Yeah,
looks at it. I hear typing.
You do. Why are these so complicated? Oh. There you go. I will put it in the side chat so that you can copy paste it. now I'm gonna have to remember it too. This is how I roll, okay?
I knew exactly what you were googling. That's fine. Yeah, she takes it, looks at it, folds it, puts it in the pocket.
It's a. Why would you do that to me? Yeah, he gives it over, and it's a name and a phone number. And it's funny because it's, you can tell it's written in pen and that it's been scratched over with like a red Sharpie. It's just been lined out. Obviously, red Sharpie over black pen, you can still see it fine, but you can tell it's been essentially marked off. That is the man.
That'll do nicely.
I hope you will understand that I did not offer the police full discretion.
I never expected. At the end of the day, if they find out you were pushing whatever you were pushing, that's bad business for you.
Yeah, I am the owner. If I go to jail, club closes, they get also out of work.
Then who knows where they go?
The alternative for most is not very attractive.
It's not. No, I understand. There's no hard feelings here. Got a lot of questions that are unsolved. And with a name, I can do a surprising amount.
Yeah, there's a shrug of acceptance. If it brings you some peace, it is not as though I need it. Not anymore.
Well, we'll have to see.
I shall hope that his name does you more good than it ever did us before. If you do go to spit on its gravestone, feel free to do so a second time for me.
Well, if you already know where that is, that'll help out.
I did not keep the obituary. I did see it.
But I imagine it went in the papers or something.
Oh, yes. Not very long. Just a mention. The very polite, quiet man survived by his family. A private gathering and burial. Rest in peace.
Yeah, she just shrugs. Well, that's everything that I wanted business-wise.
There's the do go on gesture.
But I thought I'd ask because I'm respectful of this is your place. You don't mind me hanging around for a bit?
Oh no, of course not.
So, I know I'm not exactly who I used to be, but Maisie's pretty convinced it's not far different. Just
Yes.
smiles.
God, it's so fucking slick, but the the little quirked smirk. You are perhaps not the same, but you are not so different. At least as far as I have seen so far. Still always want to sit. He kind of gestures, kind of points to the the little circle of the finger towards the chair, right in the middle.
What can I say? I like to make a statement.
You certainly do. We should see what the dressing room looks like. You have convinced all of the girls to make statements. I am at risk of going blind.
Well, I might have to drop by, but I don't think there'll be a high chance that anything like that's going to happen from me.
It is the hair. He just kind of gestures like the. You have always done well by the other girls. I do not see that there would be any complication. Feel free to come into the back when you wish. You were still a large part of this place.
I appreciate it a lot.
It is no trouble. He does put out he puts out the hand, kind of the palm up, like as if asking for hers.
Yeah, she does. Leans forward.
Yeah. The other one just kind of pops down on top of it. Just, I am truly relieved to see you healthy and walking and talking. There are many bad things that can happen to a girl if all should go wrong on the street. And I can reassure the other girls all day that you are surely somewhere fine. But it is good to see you again.
Well, I think it's safe to say by your first meeting with Anton that you know that doing a little bit more than just walking and talking. There's a smoke smirk.
It does seem like you are still very industrious.
Just can't help myself.
I will not pretend that I am surprised. You have never been very fond of sitting still for too long. And though your very stylistic choices have done wonders for me. I can only imagine once you are working on your own place. Kind of gestures vaguely, like towards the direction of the front of house, I look forward to seeing what you have made. And I do look forward to working with you again. And your friend.
It'll be a pleasure. Guess I just went a real roundabout way of stepping up.
I mean, if you had said that you had wished to expand and to go and begin a business of your own, I feel like you have taken a few steps too many to do this. You could have simply come to me and said, Joel, I would like to start my own club.
Almost certainly.
A bit of a smile. But it seems you have found your own way to accomplish the same ends. And I am glad.
And she does, it's that genuine kind of like that almost proud smile, like, yeah, too fucking right I have. Shadowlord bitch, you know I'm fucking on top.
Oh my god. Zero chill, go.
But unless you've got anything else you really want to ask me, it'd be nice if you showed me to the back. Kind of like a look around.
Oh, of course. No. No, I think any questions I have, these can wait. I will have many fine things to learn if we are to be working together. Pardon my voice. But I will happily give you the grand tour, if you would like.
Almost certainly.
At which point, I'm sorry, but you know he had to be fabulous. He rouses from his seat and goes to the door, and upon opening it, does not do the ladies first gesture, but instead offers the curled arm. Literal escort.
Oh yeah, no, she the smile, and she does, of course, Link.
Beautiful. Yeah, he's a little he's showy about it. As if oh, this fine new investor would like to see what I have to offer. Well, let me show you. And yeah, you can show around the back where everything is. Your locker has been plastered with letters held up by magnets, taped on, things like that. And I mean, they've been there a while, to be fair. But there are lockers for the girls. And yeah, the one, essentially the front door of the locker has been wrapped in paper and it has just been plastered, written on, just all sorts of shit. In homage to you, this is your locker.
Yeah, that does, she's walking around seeing how it is, because she's definitely not taking fucking notes.
Yep, he's got a decent sized back area. There is like curtains to the dressing area, but it's not like there's little dressing rooms and stuff. There's plenty of vanity seats. There is a locker room essentially for the girls to stow their stuff safely. But there's also like a maintenance area, the back bathroom for the girls. There's he'll gesture up to where the DJ booth is, because it's kind of offside and tucked mostly out of sight, because the attention in this place is not supposed to be on the DJ. But I mean, essentially, there's the music booth, there's his office. But all in all, it's kept fairly clean. The point of interest is that there is essentially a runway of no carpet as opposed to a runway of carpet. The dressing room is not carpeted. And there's effectively a runway to the entrance that the girls take out onto the floor or onto the stage. But yeah, you get the grand tour. He will offer to fetch a bolt cutter for her locker if she would like.
I mean, if it, you know what, there's a moment because yeah, you know what, she's seeing this, for someone like Jane, it's a little bit jarring because holy shit, it's not just saying like they genuinely like it's basically like a fucking shrine, a memorial, and seeing that like when you see your own damn memorial, well, it's something weird.
Pretty fucking surreal. See your own memorial. But yeah, he basically asks if you would like him to try to get in. He assumes that you no longer know the combination. But he could certainly get the lock off if you'd like, or you can leave it as it is. It's up to you.
You know what, Kayla? Let's try something weird.
Oh.
Well, let's see if she does know the combination because it's muscle memory sometimes.
You know what? I'll let you do it.
Well, what do you want me to roll?
I mean, I guess the whole idea of using willpower to see if she can, because it's not really memory. It's you working against a flaw in your sheet, and usually those are represented with willpower rolls. So we'll stick to the willpower roll.
All right.
You can kind of tap in even subconsciously.
All right. That stops me spending a willpower on it because the hilarity of doing that would actually be insane. It's 2 successes.
That's beautiful. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah. Yeah. You actually have a moment where you get like partway through it and you stop for a second and you get jarred up. And he's kind of skeptical, but lets you give it a try. And what happens is you're doing, like with the little rotary locks, you have to like spin, 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 spin to reset it if you want to try again. And what happens is he starts talking to you, even about the lock. And first time, you can't remember the last number. It's always 3. So first time you get through 2 and you just kind of get jarred up. Second time, you're talking to him, you're not thinking about it, and without thinking, you kind of give the little jerk and the lock pops open.
Yeah, it's just I look back to see his reaction.
It's the Obama not bad face. Just the, oh. Oh.
Full of surprises.
I should not be surprised. I should not. Just trying to convince himself almost like I shouldn't be. I am, but I should not be. Jesus.
Yeah, now she'll open it up.
All right. So you pop it open. And you will see, probably a fairly normal collection of things like a coat, probably one that you kept on standby just in case, or one that you left there because it wasn't as cold as you thought it was going to be. Looks like a good, comfortable, practical coat. It's actually probably pretty nice because you were making fucking bank back then. So there's your coat. There's a couple like odds and ends. There's a little mirror in there just in case there wasn't mirror space in the dressing room type thing. There's probably a makeup kit up at the top. There's you've like got a little tiny shelfy thing in the bottom, kind of like the little shoe racks, except it's small enough for a locker. Got a couple pairs of like those platforms though. And while you did have a bag when you woke up, there is a nice purse there and a change of clothes.
But yeah, she will look through it. It's because she can't help herself. She will just look in the purse because there might be something personal in here. And if it's something that's personal that resonates, you know what? Fuck it, it's mine technically.
I mean, everything in that locker is yours technically. There's even like a little umbrella on one of the little hooks, like just in case. So there are personal effects, especially in the purse and whatnot. The point of interest, most likely, is that you will find your wallet in the purse, which has things like your driver's license and a credit card. Well, bank card. Some cash, various business cards that you've held on to for, I mean, God knows what reason. Probably got, you had your phone on you, matter of course. Let me think. I'm trying to think of what I put in my purse. Probably got a little notebook, a couple of pens stashed in there, another small like makeup bag, and just kind of the usual odds and ends. Things like a hairbrush and a couple tampons, and I mean, pretty much the usual. Probably a couple loose pieces of jewelry that you either stashed in there or just kept around for, in your purse for sentimental reasons. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, she'll sift through because you know what? Cash is cash. That's mine now. But she will definitely take like an ID with her picture on it. Holy shit.
Holy shit, you had a legitimate ID.
A legitimate ID. Now. Amazing.
And apparently a bank account.
Apparently a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she'll definitely take the cards. She won't take the purse because you know what? That can stay.
Are you even taking like just the wallet, or are you picking out very particular things to take with?
Yeah, she's picking things out. She's picking out the bank cards. She's picking out like the ID, like the useful stuff, because there's nothing overly sentimental in here. Like nothing that stands out. So, Shadow Lord brain, I take useful.
Yeah, you take a nice little fold of cash. I'd say there's an easy we'll say like an easy 120 in there.
Yeah. Takes it. Haha.
I'm rich.
Yeah, she pockets it all and she'll shut it and just kind of like spin the lock just because, however the fuck these things are. I've never actually done a windy one. They're always like 3, 4 numbers that you have to like roll against.
Ah.
Very American thing, that is.
Oh, I was not aware. Yeah, you just give it a spin and it resets it. You just don't want to leave it sitting exactly on the last number because the tumblers might not re-engage. So you give it a quick spin and it's done. It's good.
Didn't want to ruin anything that was, it's nice.
Yeah, he's shaking his head like it's still done. I should not be surprised. He just waves a hand like fucking I give up on life. Just Jesus. Yeah, he'll take you for that. He'll eventually take you up behind the bar to get a look at how they've got it set up over there. Samantha does a little wave. Ooh. Stays busy. Maisie sat at the bar and does not seem to give a fuck about Joel being out there. She doesn't like freak out in excitement. She doesn't scamper off or anything. She's just like, oh, hey. Has a drink. Absolutely has a drink.
Just chilling.
Yeah. he will give you a good show about. Even take you up to where like there's a small area for like the bouncer to plunk down, and the room behind is set up more like a little break room, but was probably meant to be a coat check at some point. But yeah, he will give you the grand tour. I suppose the question is, would Jane like to stick around for the night or for part of the night? Did she just want to head back when she's seen all that and had a chance to have her talk and a sit down?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a case that now that that the one thing that she hasn't talked about in forever and doesn't talk about because it makes her feel weird, and just if I ignore it with putting my head in work and I forget about it, it's fine. Has passed. She's a little bit more relaxed again. It's winding. It's the winding back up to I am not comfortable. It's like how she's in focus mode. It's I'm here, so she does relax. You know what? She will stay around for a while. Yeah, she'll just join Maisie up at the bar.
Oh yeah. And of course, this time around, the girls have not been warned to fuck off, so you can hang out as long as you like. You can hang out till last call and past that. Not gonna boot you out till they're locking the doors. But yeah, the girls will at least try not to totally swarm you. Come up and have a word, or even invite you into the back so they can all chatter at you. I mean, there are several that claim to have known you before, albeit obviously none of them has known you as long as Macy would have. But yeah, you become the talk of the proverbial town. And is there anything else you'd like to do, nerd?
Nah, I think that's it for now.
Well, all right. This will conclude the adventures of Jane for tonight. Until next time.